Yes.
Welcome back to State Showcase. Whew. You started off strong with that one.
Yeah, man.
So, was that 2 Kendrick and 2 J. Cole tracks? Or did you just fully go
Yeah, it was
Kendrick?
1 for 1, but I can't remember. Maybe 3, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I played about 6 tunes, maybe
Okay.
5 tunes, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful. I'm so glad you
Yeah.
thought of this idea of a J. Cole Kendrick.
I might start doing it every week. I might just do that every week because I
They've
think
got-
it's
they've got a great
not
catalogue.
Kendrick, but
Sorry.
every week like Nas J next week.
And
then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
DMX 50 Cent or I don't know. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that
Like,
would be.
just do that like every week.
You know how they've
Just-
been doing versus battles?
Yes.
We can just do a little mix battle. Well, not a battle,
you
but just
go.
appreciation.
Yeah. I think that'd be
Appreciation.
crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
You're live on State Showcase on Pi Radio. You are with us from here till midnight tonight. We hope y'all are doing okay. Talk about PS5. Sorry.
Oh, you know what? I haven't
We're-
even
we're
clocked
just on
on.
the-
I didn't even know until when I got here. Then people started speaking to me about it. I was thinking, what's going on?
I've been on Twitter, like,
Yeah.
as you know, per usual. So we're just on the live stream for anyone listening live. We've got people suggesting what we should talk about this week. And Mr. Slim OG suggested we talk about the PS5.
I don't know. You're gonna have to lead with that one.
I'll lead with this one.
I don't know too much about.
Firstly,
about-
I've been seeing a lot of memes about guys asking their girlfriends to buy them the PS5.
that's wild. That's wild.
There's this one meme where this guy's whispering to his girlfriend in the club. The music is loud. She's just like trying to have fun, have a drink, but he's whispering. And then on top it's like, yo, okay, so you see this PS5, you know, you're always complaining I'm going home, but I'll be here. We can play it together, you know?
Hey, look. You gotta try it.
You got to do your thing, man, you know. What is it, $499 though? I think.
Sorry?
It's $499.
Woo! It's
Yeah.
that's not cheap.
I
That,
know.
yeah. But to be fair, if you think about the price of an iPhone,
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, actually. That's a good comparison. Well, way off, but I get what you're saying. You know, people are paying big prices for phones and stuff. But I don't know. It used to be on the PS4 I bought for $320. So compared to the new specs, I think $499 is not a bad shout. You've not really looked at the specs of the new
yeah.
thing, like,
I
so-
mean, just it's a PS5 is like a computer, so it's
Pretty
hard.
much.
It
I mean,
does everything that a computer does, pretty much, other
Yeah.
than maybe FaceTime or something that you can do, or text or something.
What,
you know.
What would you like on something that costs $499, like a console? What
I guess
would
it
you,
would just need to do it would need to do everything like a phone. With a phone, you can play games on it.
Yeah.
You can contact people, write emails. So
It'll just make the phone obsolete. You're at home, bro. You're chilling on the couch, and then there's
Yeah.
your console. So why would you need to be? I mean, you got
no,
the-
but what I'm saying is that I think any device, it kind of it comes with Internet Explorer now, and then from
Yeah.
internet you can, for PS4 you watch YouTube, right? And you can watch iPlayer on a you can watch everything,
Well, yeah.
Netflix, and
True.
it does
true.
it all now.
Yeah.
Does it all.
Slim OG is very knowledgeable about the PS5. $449 for the disc one and $349 for the non-disc one. Okay, fair enough. The Xbox One has got a couple of good specs as well, you know. But yeah, another interesting thing I've seen on Twitter is Mr. Kanye West.
Yeah. Again. I mean, I only saw a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I
You
tried
saw
to stay.
enough. You saw
I just tried to stay off my phone. That's the hardest thing, and try and do a radio show at the same time.
I understand.
It's difficult, but
he's one of my favorite people I follow on Twitter just for the pure entertainment of it. You know, I think there's a lot of there's a lot. He says some things that make sense, but then there's some other things that I think he loses it and then kind of drifts off into. I mean, him urinating on the Grammy
That's wild.
was
boy.
a bit wild. I respect him for that. I think any person who can get a Grammy and kind of record themselves doing an R. Kelly on that is held high in my books in terms of confidence and, you know. Do you know what I'm saying? R. Kelly done it. Everyone was asking who's picking it up afterwards. Like,
Oh
feel me?
man,
are we just
That's a
never
good
using
question.
that toilet again? Or
the 58 toilets he's got in his house. I'm sure he can say, "Oh, let's not go in there." I'm
Make-
sure 5 minutes later, this type of thing Kanye would do. He would actually pick it out. Like, man, you know what? Actually,
yeah.
this type of thing he would do. Like, oh
Then he'd
man,
be
I
like
for-
the Academy, I'm so sorry, but like, you know, we need to be represented
Yeah.
properly. Like, you know,
I will not be surprised if he's picking it up out of the toilet right now.
I think he's done that.
Yeah, he's already done it.
Yeah.
You flush it a few times and pick it up.
Just to yeah. They've got enough antibacterial to kind of wipe it off. Like.
Oh god, but he ain't obviously never gonna get invited to He's not going to win another Grammy now, I guess.
He's got 21, my man. I don't think he
Does
needs
he?
to-
21?
Yeah, he
Wow.
won. He's one of the.
I never knew that.
He's won one of the most in the history of the Academy, to be honest. I
Wow.
think Jay-Z is second to him. And then Michael Jackson's won a couple himself, actually. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
there was a time Kanye had a really good run at the Grammys, like. But he was talking about record labels, and I think this is something you probably know a lot about, Ethan, in terms of contracts. And have you actually looked into what he's been doing
No.
Okay, so-
I tried my best to.
to stay away? Like you
I
say?
do genuinely.
One of us has to look
Yeah.
into all that. Yeah, I've become a Twitter head. I never was. But basically, he's screenshotted all, like I think it was like 21 pages or something of his contract with Universal and Sony.
Wow.
And he's trying to fight against the system of labels kind of signing people on lifetime contracts that
Okay.
they don't benefit much from and stuff. And he seems to be one of the people who is suffering from it.
Wow.
So he wants to own all his masters. He's like, yeah, I want my kids to own my masters. He wants to know how much he needs to pay and blah, blah. So he posted his whole contract on Twitter and he said, yo, everyone who's a lawyer, look at all of this.
Wow.
I think one of his management sent him a message about their direction on how they're going to pursue this. He
Yeah.
screenshotted it and posted it online. So the guys know.
Nothing's safe.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, he's just
Yeah.
wilding. So in terms of masters and record label contracts, what's your knowledge on all of this? Like,
Masters of. Oh my God. This is. I know a little bit. I'm not going to go in like I know a lot.
yeah, I just
I know
just
the
for sake
definitions,
of
but
knowledge.
it's a really broad question. If there's anything specific, but
Yeah.
obviously, with contracts, there's lots of ways you can say the same thing, and
Yeah.
that's probably why people get caught out the most. There's lots of ways you can say the same thing, and then there's lots of ways you can say things that are alluding
Okay.
or suggest.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
what is it? Perpetuity.
Oh, okay. That's a word of the day.
Perpetuity. I heard it this morning. Like I've heard it a few months ago, but I heard it again on a Drinks Champs podcast. He's talking about perpetuity. I
Oh,
think
right.
that's how you say it.
Can you
Google it? You can Google it. Google it.
Yeah. Spelling bee champ
it's-
over here is gonna try spell this on Google while he talks.
But you see what I'm
Good.
saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's stuff like that you just think perpetuity, what? And then you realise it's a really important word, and that section of the contract is really crucial.
Oh.
And you realise,
Do you mind if I just quickly?
Yeah.
So the definition of perpetuity is the state or quality of lasting forever. And if used in a sentence, in a sentence, he did not believe in the perpetuity of military rule. Okay, yeah. So a bond or other security with no fixed maturity date. That's the definition of perpetuity.
There you go.
So basically something that lasts pretty much forever. Sorry, I just needed to put that out while you explain it.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly my example. Like you having a contract, and let's say someone offered you 900 grand right now, but they obviously, if they remember, the basic thing is if someone's offering you 900 grand, how much are they making? Probably 9 million. You know what I mean?
Oh
So-
yeah, 100%. So the more you get on a
So
on a
you
signing
got to think
bonus,
always about, in general in life, if someone is going to offer you this much, how much do you think you're actually worth?
right? Yeah.
So when you get that amount of money, and it's okay to sign a bad contract, it's okay to get your foot in the door. That's part of it. If someone offered me, 50 grand right now, I'd probably take it. As long as it wasn't anything for my whole life.
Right.
And it just said, look, for this album, we're going to keep the masters.
Yeah.
Cool, because what it does, it gets me the foot in the door, and then the next album I can say, look, I want 500,000, and I want this, and I want that, because my first one went so well. So I think what people get so caught up in, you can't rip me off. No, it's okay to have a project, get your foot in the door, and be a part of the conversation.
But why?
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why is okay? I know the subject of masters has been throughout the musical time, but in terms of the conversation of it at the minute, it's more of a conversation now. Like,
because of
Chris
independence.
Brown got his masters
Because of independence.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's a
independence.
popular-
Remember, there was no avenue to have your own masters.
Yeah.
You couldn't be popular if you weren't on a record label. And on a record label, the what do you call it? The contracts were, you make us this music, and we'll give you this advance, and then you'll get this amount of money from how many records you'll sell per CD, per piece of vinyl. You get 1 point, 2 point, or 5 cents, 10 cents per vinyl. You sell 1 million, 10 million, you get 10 cents. But do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the contracts, very basic. And then once you're done, that the ownership of that music is in their hands. You
Okay.
make music. That was a record contract, not some, not that was 90% of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Now with having independence, having the internet where you can go to the consumer, the record label are a middleman. There, you go to them to get distribution. No, I can go on TuneCore, I can go on DistroKid, I can go on United Masters and give the fans directly my music. So you've cut out the middleman. So when I do that, I own my music.
Right.
The publisher doesn't own it, and I'm the only person that owns it.
That's why it's like so popular.
So that's why the
nowadays.
conversation
Has come up
has
now.
become, because we all, me and you, we put out music, we own it.
Yeah.
There's no someone else. But when a record label signs you,
They
they'll
just happen to
say,
distribute it,
they will
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
we'll give you this amount, but this will mean that you don't own your music for the rest of, you don't own it.
Right.
That's what that means.
Okay.
And most contracts
Yeah.
are like that. At the end of your album has gone out, you don't own it.
Right.
You make money off it. You might even perform it, but the actual recording is not yours anymore.
I think,
do you understand?
I think people are just really surprised it's happening to someone as big as Kanye or as big as
Because it happened when it wasn't popular to be
course,
this.
yeah,
It
yeah.
happened probably happened 10 years ago, 15
Yeah.
years ago, where people weren't
Yeah.
interested. It wasn't even a conversation you'd had. It was more just about who could get the biggest advance.
True.
So like,
True.
it was just about, can I get the budget?
Yeah.
There was two things. Can you get the budget to make your album big? Some people's budgets, they would say, okay, here's $1 million.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, can we shoot a video? You're going to have to take it out of your budget. Or you would be like, we've got 100 grand.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on in music. There's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
one of those things. Obviously, they gave you the advance, but they gave you an advance, but
Yeah.
they said like, "Oh, we know a studio." But
Yeah,
it goes right back to
there's
them.
so much that
Yeah.
goes into this, and
video
everyone's
and-
different.
Yeah.
But you got two things: you got your advance, the money they want to offer you up front, and then you got your budget while you're making your project.
Yeah.
Are you paying money out of your own money
Mm-hmm.
to facilitate? Oh, I need a feature from Future. It's
Yeah.
going to cost me 100 grand. Are you going to pay it, the artist, out of his money, or can you manage to get someone at the label to pay it?
Exactly. Yeah.
All these things are depending on what they think your potential is
Yeah.
and how much.
That's how much they'll invest
risk.
in you.
Yeah, how much risk are you?
Yeah.
Someone who like Drake, he's on a label still.
His credits unlimited, I think.
He
Yeah.
can just go up to. Number one, he probably can get a verse from anyone.
Yeah.
Number two, if there's anything he doesn't want to pay for, the label, he'll just say, "Can you pay for it?" They won't even think.
No, yeah,
because they
they'll
know
just jump
whatever he
straight
does
away. Yeah, it's gonna
is guaranteed
numbers.
money back.
Yeah.
They know they're going to make a profit on it.
Yeah.
Whereas someone like who's a new artist, they might go, "Oh, we don't know if we can do that video. You want to do a video, but you got to shoot a scene in the plane. Oh, that's already 100 grand, man.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend 100 grand already. You haven't even got a hit single yet."
Exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that go into it.
Slim OG is asking on the live stream, is Kanye West still on the label?
Yeah, I
And
would've
yes,
thought so,
he.
yeah.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Obviously, he owns Good Music, but Good Music is under another parent
bracket
label. Yeah.
Of another, 100%.
Which I'm assuming is probably Universal or Sony.
Yeah.
And
Or
yeah,
Warner.
so
Yeah.
or Warner, yeah. So yes, Kanye is still on a label.
They all are. There's no one in the world right now who's a massive, big, major artist that is actually fully
I
independent.
think Russ is independent.
Yeah, he's probably the only one. Probably
Chance
maybe
the Rapper's independent.
Yeah, but he kept saying that. But he's
an industry plant.
He's partnered up with SoundCloud or Spotify. He's
Has
partnered.
he?
He's made he made deals with these people though.
Okay.
He made deals, but it doesn't necessarily mean what is independent. Do you know what I'm saying? If you make
Yeah.
a deal with someone, does that mean you're it might be a 50-50 deal. It might be a this
Yeah.
deal.
There's loads of like ways of like
this
coming
is,
up with these.
This is what I mean.
It's the new era of music, and yeah, that's been the conversation this week about Kanye West has been talking about a lot, but the main point was the record labels and masters, and R. Kelly and Grammys, which was probably my favorite part. I just love the caption when I called you. I was like, bro, watch the caption. He's like, trust me, I won't stop. It's been watched 24 million times. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think he broke a Twitter record of 100 tweets in 1 hour.
100 tweets. Oh, you actually tweeting?
Actually tweeting.
Wow.
And then he was banned for like 12 hours. And he messaged the owner of Twitter, and my man was like, "Yo, what? Okay, no, I'm gonna call somebody." And he screenshotted that. And he posted it on Twitter.
The power.
Like, oh, what? My Twitter ain't working. Let me just call the CEO.
Let me call the Twitter, the man Twitter, Mr. Twitter, and tell him fix it.
Fix it.
Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
We're gonna have issues. So you got Rick Fox to tweet for him saying, "Look, I've been banned from Twitter, but my friend Kanye West said I should just let y'all know he's banned. He'll be back." This man's got, since he's become
Unlimited
a billionaire.
power.
Like,
I guess that's the type of power that makes you crazy.
you reckon? What I mean, if you had $1 billion, you wouldn't be the same man today, would you? Like,
No, hell, no way. I would be the same man, but I wouldn't go as far as I would be Kanye West. I don't think I'd ever be Kanye
you
West.
say that now, my man.
Yeah, I know.
You say that now.
It's very true.
You say that now.
No, I'm just saying, I don't think I'd have the traits. I mean, I can be very arrogant and cocky and a fool, but I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I'm there yet with getting that far with the Kanye West. And
I mean, knowing myself.
who knows, you know?
Knowing myself, like how I've dealt with money in the past, and there was a time I used to be really good with money, but then there was a period of time I was absolutely terrible with money. And I'm talking just, it's nowhere close to the billions, but I'm saying, I'm using an example of, if you can't handle £100 in your pocket, how do you expect to handle $1 billion or 1,000 or 1,000,000? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of these rappers and a lot of these celebrities have grown up poor, and then all of a sudden they got this big, huge amount of money in their lap. You're telling me you're expecting them to be a normal person?
No, you're right. You're right.
You can't expect someone to be a normal person when they've come from absolutely nothing and then now reached a certain point in their life where they can just stand up and say something, I want this, and they have it.
Yeah.
That
No,
can
I
turn
respect that.
any person crazy. I don't want to use the word
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that
yeah.
can really send someone. And if you already got mental health like Kanye West has, of course, that would.
I would say that developed. I never felt like he had that before.
No,
I feel like that's something that developed.
I think him having his mom around, kind of, she must have seen it in him as a kid, but she kept him grounded. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then now that she was gone, there was no one really that was able to kind of, do you understand? Keep him-
100%.
keep him-
Because
keep
you
him
need
sane,
someone
like-
that's. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Honestly.
I think if you're rich and you suffer from mental health and no one is telling you or helping you out, you're bound to end up urinating on your Grammy in the toilet and posting it on Twitter. I'm sorry to make a joke about that, but it's just, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
how mental health and $1 billion is really a really big thing. Like, it's.
I know, and of course, I don't think you'd have to be crazy.
I'm using $1 billion as
You'd
an
have to be
extreme
crazy
example,
to think
like,
that
yeah.
$1 billion or pounds wouldn't change you.
Uh.
You'd have to be insane to think that it wouldn't change you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone on the planet thinks that they're gonna have that amount of money and it not change them. There's just, obviously, humans are different and we all deal with these things very different. I know I'd be off the rails, but I don't know if I'd be Kanye off the rails. That's another level, because there's rich people, and they're fine.
Are they?
Yeah, no, but they are. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
are. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's lots of rich people in the world.
But if
So
we're agreeing on this, why is it that we're so vocal when someone spends like 100 grand on a car and they're like, "Oh, you should be feeding Africa, bro"? Like, why do people
I
feel
don't-
like they can tell you how to spend your money, yet they don't know what it's like to have that amount of money? Like,
I just think that's what Twitter and Instagram does.
no, I'm not even talking Twitter, Instagram.
I
I'm just
know, I
talking
know.
a normal,
in general, but I just think that that's what that is. Like, human beings are always going to comment on what other people do. Like, if they think it's outrageous or insane,
Yeah.
I think that's just in nature. I
Yeah.
think that the problem isn't just specific to money.
Yeah.
When people want to open their mouth about something that doesn't concern them.
Yeah.
I think that is just life. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
nothing to do with it being money focused. It's just
Yeah.
people. If they don't feel like you're making good decisions, they will just say, and
Yeah.
whether it via Twitter or via just seeing you.
Yeah.
And money's one of those things that, no one spends it how you would spend it.
Yeah.
No one would. No one's gonna do things the way you would do them, and we are naturally greedy as well. We
mean,
seem to,
Yeah, on the conversation of money, I mean, you made a comment last week about how money does stress you out. Like,
Oh yeah,
do you know what I
massive.
mean? What is it about money that
It's
stresses you
I
out?
think it's
like,
obviously that being here in England,
Yeah.
I definitely know that being here in Manly or being in London even more so,
yeah,
where I was before, the stresses of money and the way money dictates that city, it's like no other place.
yeah.
And that that money chase can like make you want to jump out of a window.
Yeah. I understand, man, because obviously in London it's such a fast-paced life.
Even here, it's getting in
close
any
to it,
major city that is westernized, and we have the same morals and ideas about what makes us happy and what makes us what is important. And when like someone said the other day, you get to 18, you're supposed to finish school, or you go 16, college. Then you go there, university, 18, 21, you come out, you're supposed to have a job, 28, you're supposed to be married, or 30, you're supposed to be married, then you're supposed to have kids.
Your life
Whose
is just
life actually can go like that? Maybe 10% of people.
Yeah.
And that's the idea, that's the template everyone in the whole, like in England or so, should have.
Let's just say Western culture.
Yeah, no, in Western culture, we should have that. And then by 40, you should be sitting at home every day with your wife and doing nothing.
And doing a school run.
And you know what I mean? Like, whose life goes like that, man?
I know it's true.
It's
man.
funny. It actually makes me laugh saying it because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, what is normality right now? To be honest, with the way you've put it, like how there was a time though in history where you did go to school, you went to uni, you got a job, got a house, got married.
Not uni, I wouldn't say that, but
sorry, not uni, but
you come out of school and get a job,
got a job,
get married at 21 to 25, and then
and then you were just that was the comfortability of life. But now we live in such a social media era and such a fast-paced life in terms of what's going on and how things work and how you can make your money and how you can like really be successful or really kind of not be successful, if you understand what I'm saying.
1,000,000%. I get it.
You seem like you're looking for something.
No, there's so much. I'm just trying to make sure the sound is right. That's all.
All right.
In
cool,
the studio,
cool.
the sound is a bit strange today. But I couldn't agree with you more, man. Like, you realise that we have a very, our culture is, we have a culture that focuses around work. Like, a work and leisure culture. So you go to Australia, people tell me in Australia, man, they're lazy. But what they're really saying is they don't take work that seriously. And that's okay. Like, we take work in England and in America and in lots of places in Europe where there is mental health issues. We take work so serious it makes us sick. Do you get what I'm saying?
Don't you think that's why there's so much binge drinking in this country?
Yeah,
because
binge
people
everything.
Are so like work, and then the weekend comes and you just have to let loose because you've been stressed out all week because of work or you're thinking about money. But then once the weekend is there, it's like, okay, it's my time off now. Leave me alone. I'm going out. Boom, I'm drinking. And
100%.
that's what happens, you know what I mean? And obviously England is one of those countries where binge drinking is one of the highest in it, isn't it? Like
binge drinking,
British holiday
I would say so, yeah. I think it is higher. I think it is one of the highest.
Or there was a time where...
for sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying? What is it do you think about England
But our culture, it's only down to our culture. What's socially acceptable, what is tradition, and how do we feel, how do we like to enjoy? Some other cultures have very healthy ways of living, and some don't.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a place where you're in the sun all the time and you do carnival or festival, you might spend more time outside in the outdoors, which is better for you.
Yeah.
More time in the sun. You know what I mean? You might spend more time, the way you eat, all these things. And we have this heavy drinking culture.
Yeah.
Where it's about finishing work and having a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And finishing work and having a takeaway. And, you know what I mean? That's our culture.
Yeah.
That's what being British is. It is not cooking from scratch and farming and growing food and
firstly the climate doesn't really allow for such a thing, but
that it's not, it doesn't, we can still grow stuff here to an extent. There's still stuff that we have, but it's just that we don't do that. It might have been in our culture, but it's definitely not in young people that have been born in the last 20 years. They don't have a life of, they just go to Tesco's, they buy this or Bell or they get a takeaway, they eat, they spend time on their iPhone, and that's what kind of British culture is.
Yeah.
No,
I hear that.
It's we kind of live in a very weird place. England is not very. It's not a place filled with culture. The people that come up from other areas seem to bring the culture to England and make England more of an interesting place.
Oh, that's.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I would say. The Jamaicans, the Indians, the Pakistanis. Do you know what I'm saying? The Polish. The Jewish. I think that's what brings.
You see, guys, I'm just gonna say this live on air. Like, you see, out of all that list, he never named Africa, and let me tell you why he's done that. Let me just no. Ethan's got a problem with Africans.
Don't do that. That's not even funny. That's not even funny. Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Because it'll get clipped out. In 20 years, I'll go back and say, remember when Ethan did... That's how... And then I'm going to have my Kanye West moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired.
Hopefully you got a billion. Throw some fufu in the toilet and start killing it.
And plus, I'm going to Ghana next year, so don't say that. Don't get get my behind beat before I even get there.
I know. Sorry, guys. No, it's just a joke, honestly. Me and Ethan like to just tease each other, so because we do live in a very PC culture, and I understand that some certain jokes can't be made. So I do apologize. Yeah, Ethan does love Africans a little bit. I'm sorry, bro. I can't help it. You know.
Go on, your point.
Yeah, no, I didn't really have a point, but like, sorry, I wanted to.
Is that it? Oh, I thought you were gonna hit me with something good.
No, it's just because you started getting emotional. So
I can't even remember what about now.
My joke. No, you just said like in England, a lot of the culture in this country has come from outside of its own
facts.
You know,
facts.
Yeah, it is quite a multicultural country anyway. Do you understand?
I think that's what makes, I don't want to say England or great or any of that, but that's one of the reasons why England is the way it is today, is all the immigration that has come to England because they have colonised the planet. So we have decided to come here and find a better way for ourselves, and that's really what makes England rich.
Yeah.
And the same with America, you know, the Koreans and
everyone,
the Japanese and the Chinese and the Dominicans and you know what I mean, like the Nigerians, and that's what makes it, you know, an interesting place. Which, you know, I feel like that's a big part of it. The other places that don't have that always seem to lack something sometimes. You know, it's I guess it's a blessing, but basically what I'm trying to say, I guess it's a blessing to be able to be in a place like that.
We'd like to think that. But there are a majority of course,
people that feel otherwise.
That's how far I'll go with that statement. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, Brexit. But anyway.
Is that still a thing? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got my passport the other day. I told you it come in blue.
Oh, is it blue now?
It's blue, like the American passport.
It's not a red book no more.
Nope. We are out. We are really out.
You're out of there.
We're out.
Well, COVID's keeping everyone out anyway. So.
In. True. True. Keep everyone in.
Yeah.
That's so real.
Yeah, but you're live on State Your Case on Pi Radio. You know, we're just having a couple of discussions right here. But we have got a J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar mix for you this week. And we might start doing that for the next couple of weeks. But we will still keep it old school. We will still keep it new school.